Hello, welcome to Movie Tavern.
Can I get one for Smile, please?
Yes, you sure can. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get your ticket for you here. There you go. Enjoy your movie.
Thank you.
Hey, did you find this place okay?
Yeah, kind of got turned around.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Tavern Talk. I'm Philip, and joining me this week, Mr. Chris Owen. Thank you for being here.
Hey, it's fun.
Yeah. Chris, you write a column for myceline.com.
Watch this with Chris.
Watch this with Chris. But I mean, I see you post stuff about movies all the time on the social medias and everything. So, and you have a history in radio and everything. So I thought you'd be perfect to come on here and talk about a movie with. So thank you for being here tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for reaching out, man.
Absolutely. And I really actually appreciate it because I reached out and said, hey, would you be interested in talking this scary movie with me? And you were like, horror movies aren't really my bag, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
So we're talking about Smile this week. It's a new horror film from writer-director Parker Finn. And yes, we're just going to kind of dive straight into this. I don't want to talk about the plot too much. We'll kind of reveal little bits as we discuss it, but obviously we just came out of the theater, just saw this. What is your initial reaction to Smile?
I'm a little shaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely hate horror movies. I honestly, probably the only horror movie that I've ever liked. Girly boy. In my life.
Oh, yeah?
And that's a terrifying one.
The old one or the new one?
Oh, come back anytime.
The old one in particular.
Okay.
The new one was okay.
Okay.
But I've never seen Freddy, Jason. I don't do horror. I've literally been sweating all day long.
Wow, man, I am indebted to you for this. Wow, thank you. But yeah, so and this is very much. This isn't one of those kind of like cheap thrillers or like kind of predictable slashers either. This is very much a psychological horror film that is very much trying to have a discussion about something, is very serious about the subject it is discussing. Yeah, what is your kind of takeaway, positive, negative, what you liked, what you didn't like?
Man, I really liked it.
Yeah.
I would probably go see it again. I want my wife to go see it.
Okay.
So, I can handle it. I can handle it. It was really thought-provoking, which maybe is why I like it. I certainly don't do like slasher films. I can't.
Okay.
I don't like the gore. I don't do Saw and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But it was very thought-provoking. There was some subject matter that kind of close to my heart, and I thought it was great.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want to. You kind of work in a field that it has to deal with. What do you do, and how does it relate to kind of what is going on in this movie?
Yes, I work for a nonprofit mental health organization.
Okay.
And I have for about the last 15 years. So work with people who live with schizophrenia, with bipolar disorder, and so mental health, mental illness is very important to me. It's very close to my heart, and there's some. Again, don't want to give away any plots or anything, but yeah, there was some subject matter in here that's tough. But
do you feel it handled it like delicately, or like maybe not delicately, but do you feel like it handled it with care in what it was trying to say? Because it's clearly kind of an analogy for dealing with, for lack of a better word, trauma.
Yeah, for sure.
And how it is passed on from, whether it be one generation to the next, or people who are affected by it and how they carry it with them. Like, it is very much, like I said, an analogy, kind of a metaphor for that. But do you feel like that aspect of it was handled well?
I do. I guess the thing that bothers me the most, just in talking about mental health and in our society, is the stigma associated with it. And the thing that drives that stigma is us using words like crazy and nut job and nutcase and psycho and things like that. And I mean, there's a lot of that, but it was in context.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you said, because I did the first time one of the detectives uses a term like that. I heard you kind of go,
yeah. Oh, yeah. And that bothers me.
Yeah. Well, and the therapist did as well. Like, she was clearly offended by it, and that kind of made me wonder, like, oh, this is really, it did its homework. There has been some real experience. Like I said, Parker Finn wrote and directed this, so it definitely feels like I don't know his story. I don't know how autobiographical it is, but it definitely feels like he's maybe using this to work through something himself.
Sure, I think when a lot of it was in good context.
Okay. So, good. Yeah. Well. Yeah. So again, not to give away too much, but that is kind of the through line of the film. It is it deals with this therapist played by Sosie Bacon, and who is the daughter of Kevin Bacon and Keira Sedgwick.
Yeah,
did not realize that until after, when I was looking up everybody. But so she has an encounter with this patient who states that she's being kind of followed by this entity, this demon, and then we were kind of talking after films it reminded us of, and I threw out kind of the more recent, like It Follows.
It's somewhere walking straight for you.
Or The Ring.
You will die in 7 days.
And very much in those vein of, being stalked by something, being cursed, and then having a limited amount of time to figure out how to reverse that curse. And then you mentioned one from '98,
Fallen,
which I need to see this.
It's wild. It's wild.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. And so that was kind of, I'm actually really torn on this one because like we were saying, it really does take the subject it's talking about seriously. It is really trying to say something, address these issues of what is a better, I just feel like, and this maybe is probably a repercussion of like the Jamie Lee Curtis press tour for Halloween.
Trauma. Rage and trauma. PTSD. Trauma. Post-traumatic stress. Female trauma. Family trauma.
And how much she's used trauma and talked about it. I feel like there's probably a better word for that, or a better word for what Finn is trying to talk about here. But yeah, I mean, he's really just going about it in a very serious way. But at the same time, some of the execution, some of the acting, really, like I thought Bacon, like she was great, like great central performance.
She was fantastic.
She plays rattled and just shaken and disturbed and clearly just like on edge constantly in this movie. And she plays that well, but like Jessie T. Usher from The Boys plays. See, I thought he was so off. Like, I didn't.
Did you?
Yeah, I just like it felt so wooden.
I think he had his moments.
Yeah, it was him, and then her sister and her husband. Like, her husband was meant to kind of like throw some humor in there. And I don't know if it was just because it like felt like off tonally, or if it was like just the dialogue, the way it was written, if it was just kind of stiff. I don't know. But like some of that stuff around it, as well as like just some of the other, I thought a lot of the shots were very cool. A lot of the transitions were really neat.
Yeah.
The sound design was really cool. There's a thing he does with like the happy birthday song in here that I thought was really effective as far as like putting us in her frame of mind or state of mind. But yeah, I don't know. It was kind of like, I really like appreciate what he's going for stylistically. I'm really into it. I'm a big sucker for like title screens, and this one has a great one.
Yep.
But yeah, just some of the execution of it overall kind of like felt like it was in like kind of working against the seriousness of the topic he's discussing.
Yeah, I can see that. The cinematography I thought was fantastic. The sound was really cool. It may have just been me because I was puckered up and on edge and on the verge of freaking out, but I swear there were times when I could hear the sound from Predator.
I'm glad you said that.
The sound was cool.
I need to look up who did the score, because the music, was. Yeah. I mean, I mentioned the Happy Birthday thing, but like the score itself, separate from that, was really neat and different than what you expect with a horror film. It wasn't all just like build-ups and loud noises to signal the jump scares and stuff. It was a neat vibe for the soundtrack that I didn't expect fully. But yeah, it definitely has a style all its own.
The jump scares were pretty natural in that they weren't forced.
No,
and
they were solid.
Yeah,
they were solid.
Yeah. I only soiled myself once.
Oh, the part that kind of like almost pushed me to that limit was just how well a lot of these actors were able to pull off. Like, I can't smile creepily without like making myself laugh. And the girl who was the first patient, there's another patient, that we were talking about that. Just genuinely creepy, like it just adds to that, I guess, atmosphere. Like atmosphere is key in a horror movie, and they really build it well here.
I feel like when they were casting the movie, like did they just like make you smile?
Had to,
like,
right?
Because the smiles were, it was like Joker-ish almost, but creepier.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, I did think of that when there was one great shot or just great image when the first female patient that she sees is in the morgue, and just the stain of the blood on the like little stuff like that. I love like little touches like that. In the story, in the movie, one of the detectives is an ex of the Rose characters, and his name is Kyle Gallner, and he was in several horror movies like 10 years ago or something. Hasn't kind of been used sparingly lately, but he did he come off as doing a John Bernthal impression to you?
Happy Wayne Jenkins Day, everybody.
At all?
Oh, that's good. That's good. I didn't catch it then, but I can totally see it now.
I know I've seen that kid in, and maybe he was just like, because of, like, he was in Haunting in Connecticut, which I'm sure you've seen all of these. He was in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake.
Not one of them.
He's in the new Scream this year. So yeah, I'm sure you're very familiar with his work. But yeah, I swear he doesn't sound like that in any other movies. But in this one, I was like, what is he doing?
No,
like,
I can, yeah.
But anyway, that I don't know what that relates to conversationally. But no, I'm kind of torn on this one, but I really, really dug what it was going for. And,
for sure.
And really think, big crowds in a theater, especially this time of year, are really going to enjoy this one.
Yeah.
So at the end of each review, kind of ask out of 5-star rating, initial reaction rating, since it's kind of fresh in your mind. What would you give Smile? But what would your initial reaction rating be for it?
Man, considering I do not watch horror movies and I enjoyed this one,
right?
I mean, I'm going to go like 4.1.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, I was actually like sitting at 3 right out of the theater, but now the more we've kind of talked about it and discussed it, and I think I'm going to go 3.5. I don't know if I'm up to 4 yet, but I'm definitely going to go 3.5 because there's a lot to like here.
And my score may be different if I watched a lot of horror movies.
Yeah, well, I need to know, now that the expectations have been set, where the jump scares are. If you go see this again, I need to know what the second reaction to it'll be.
But you need to go watch Fallen.
I'm going to do that immediately.
Yeah,
because it's beyond it sounding intriguing. I don't know how I missed a Denzel one from the 90s.
So some things, pal, you shouldn't know.
Good.
I gotta get on that. But thank you for doing this.
This has been so fun.
I really appreciate you coming out doing this. And thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, notification bell. We review the biggest release of the week every week, so you hit that notification bell and you'll know when we upload that. And also, if you're interested in seeing Smile, you have a movie tavern near you, do that. I want to thank them for letting us see the movie in the theater, shoot the show here. But thank you once again, Chris. We do this every week, so come back anytime.
That's awesome, man. It's been fun.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys. Peace. Action. Oh, shoot.